with the lead. They're getting a little wobbly.
Justin Chapman rebound. Robbie Ryan for three. He hits it, and we are tied.
Cherry's three. It's good. Johnny Walker. Mashing up against control. His shot. Real score. They score. They tie the game up 2-2. Some drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. This is Thea Hansen for three. Other side of the rim with a pretty reverse.
Wow.
5 seconds to go. Find Hawk. Hawk spins. It rolls on. And Arizona State wins it. Edward pulls off. And buries the front.
Daniels takes the shot for Kirby.
Welcome into Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Kirchner. Look at that, at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. Is today's Get Up Garb. Yes, a very classic. This is actually a great gift I got. Very classic Arizona State hoodie. But nonetheless, I mean, they're all classic because it's Arizona State. You all know that. Come on. But yes, happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, I guess. Every day's got to have a title, so we go with Taco Tuesday. It is Taco Tuesday, so yes, enjoy those tacos. A little overcast, obviously Super Bowl week. We all know this. Chiefs, Niners. Hit me up in the comments. Who you got? I mean, I'm going with the Niners, not just because of Brandon Ayuk, but I don't know. How about Fox Sports releases colleges of all the 49ers and has all the logos, and there's no ASU logo. But there is one thing that I do need to check out real quick because it annoyed me so much that it annoyed me so much because if they did what they did, I get so annoyed with the mess up, but let's just see. Oh, no, they do. Okay, so there is a player that is from that school down south. That is on the 49ers. And that is Demetrius Flanagan Fowles did go to Arizona, I will say, because he's in the Super Bowl. But I don't know. If you look at their roster in alphabetical order, who's the first person on it? Yeah, Brandon Ayuk forks up from ASU. So there was a picture out yesterday of the schools from the colleges represented by the 49ers, and no pitchfork, no Sparky, nothing. Hello. Yeah. Maybe they can clean that up. Maybe they should learn how to clean that up. But I'm guessing maybe it's a person that went to that school down south that punched it in. Really, even I would punch in the school down south's symbol for that, because it is the Super Bowl. But nonetheless, Brandon Ayuk is there, and he's got a lot more to worry about and get prepared for than to worry about that. But I'll complain for him. You know me. Anyway, I am Mike Larson at Diablo00 on X Artist, formerly known as Twitter. So glad you can jump in here to Pitchfork Lunch on a Taco Tuesday. You can see the show live here, and today it's on Facebook. There's been issues with the IG, even in just creating lives, and it's linked and everything. I know technology. I at times have my my issues, but yeah, there's been issues with IG, and through the streaming service, they let us know. So hopefully it gets fixed soon. But nonetheless, on the Facebook and YouTube, Pitchfork Luncher, subscribe to the YouTube. You've missed some phenomenal interviews, sound, but interviews, coaches, players, and we're constantly working on getting more as the season, fall started into winter and spring. And yes, it's awesome. We got to talk to Jaden Simmons last Friday before they took off to play that team down south, and we talked about it yesterday. Again, through 3 quarters, a back and forth game, completely awesome. And unfortunately for the Devils, the fourth quarter, you heard from Coach Natasha Adair yesterday, and Triana Crisp, who had, again, a very solid game. But yeah, some of the shots throughout the game and in the fourth quarter, early in the fourth quarter, didn't go. And Arizona's press and their post presence, they're trying to make a run. They're probably not where they thought they would be, but that is that. So we'll see. And Arizona did win the game. So, but look, the women, they're battling. Wrestling, I know I got to barely touch on it at the end yesterday. This last weekend, they were 1-1. They went to Oklahoma State, and I think it was last Thursday. It was Thursday it was Thursday. Emily White from gymnastics had a heck of a weekend last weekend. But yeah, for ASU wrestling, they're 4-5 right now. They are 2-1 in conference, which is good. 1-1 at home, 2-3 away, 1-1 on neutral site. So, but yeah, they went to Stillwater on Friday, and again, Oklahoma State, very, very solid program, as many in the wrestling world know. And the Devils fell 28-9, but they came home for a match on They came home, take on Oregon State at 1 p.m., and they get the 19-17 win over yeah. Yeah, Colton Schultz and Nico Ruiz both got Nico Ruiz won his match decision 6-3 over Matthew Olgwin, and Colton Schultz beat Boone McDermott. That just sounds like a wrestler name. Like normally that sounds like a wrestler name somebody might make up, and I'm not making fun of him. I mean, but Boone McDermott just sounds like a wrestling name, and Schultz able to get the decision over McDermott 5-2. And other than Schultz and Ruiz, Chance McLean won his match, as did Ja'Cory Teamer. Matheson, he was up 20-6. Teamer, again, having a heck of a season so far, too. Kyle Parko had a 9-3 decision over Nash Singleton. And Julian Chelbove had a 8-2 decision over Gabe Weisenhunt. So they get the 19-17 win over Oregon State, again, to improve to 4-5. Up next for the Sun Devils, they are Friday. They will be in San Luis Obispo, California, taking on Cal Poly. And then they return home. Well, their next match after that's 8 days later is, again, they're sprinting to the finish, but they take on Stanford February 17th at 1 p.m. at Mullet Arena, actually. So that'll be cool to check that out. It's at 1 p.m. February 17th, Michael Jordan's birthday. You know, more worthless knowledge, sports worthless knowledge facts, right? But yeah, you can check them out 1 p.m. against Stanford. And then, their last three matches are at home. Then they take on Lehigh the 24th, and then Nebraska the 25th at Mullet Arena. And that's at 1 p.m. on Friday or Sunday, February 25th. So that is that. And then the Pac-12 championships are March 10th, Sunday, March 10th, 6 p.m. in Corvallis. So that is that. But so 4-5 and a chance, to make a run. We'll see what they can do. I mean, Missouri, Iowa State, and Oklahoma State, who were all, again, very good as well. They lost and then they fell to North Carolina as well, 22-16. 39-6, they fell to Mizzou. Iowa State was 28-10. Little Rock just fell short against Little Rock, 18-15, and then they beat Pitt 21-20. on the road. And then, like I said, lost to Oklahoma State 20-9, but turned around and bounced back and beat Oregon State 19-17. So Zeke Jones, an alum, obviously a former wrestler coaching the team. Again, after Cal Poly this weekend, we're going to aim to get Coach Jones on the show, talking about his guys on the Pac-12. Anyway, not going to go down the rabbit hole. You know that. But, yeah, wrestling, again, just absolutely awesome. Loved wrestling growing up, getting to go to ASU wrestling. And then I was at school there. And then all of a sudden it was away for a few years. Believe me, people always say they're not happy and, just voice it and nothing gets done. But, yeah, not happy and a lot got done. So the fact that wrestling's back, absolutely awesome. Love it. So, yes, that's where we are with that. By the way, the women's water polo team absolutely crushing it. For those that haven't checked out water polo, again, it is the Summer Olympics. It is an Olympic sport. Watching on TV is awesome. I've been to a few matches, both sides, like men's and women's. It is awesome. You talk about obviously you talk about like athletic ability, athleticism, being in shape, what you have to do. It is awesome. Like I said, to watch on TV, yes, but to be there for it, again, you need to go check it out. But the women's water polo team is rocking it. They just came off a nice win. They are 7-1 overall. They are 4-0 at home, 1-0 away, and then 2-1 on a neutral site. But you look at their wins. They open up the season beating Cal Lutheran 26-2. Then they beat number 20 Wagner 16-10. And they're number 14, by the way, ranked right now. They're number 14. Then they beat number 18 at the time, Loyola Marymount 12-7. Then they beat Salem University 20-5. Then they went to the Triton Invitational this past weekend in San Diego, and they beat number 9 UC San Diego 12-11. Then again, a close one. They lost to number 3 UCLA 13-8. They turned around and beat number 16 UC Davis 9-4, and then the second half charge to beat number 10 Michigan 10-8. Forks up. Go Lady Devils there as a team this year so far that scored. I gave you those scores, but 113 goals to just their opponents' 60. 52 assists as a team, 165 points overall, averaging goals per game. They're averaging 14.1 goals per game. That doesn't suck. And 186 shots per game, 23.3. They're at a 608 shot percentage. That's pretty good compared to their opponents, 323, and all those ranked teams that they played, like I said. Yeah, you'll take that. So goals by period, I love this stat in water polo. I've always loved it just because teams, but they get out like gangbusters. 29 goals in the first period, 21 in the second, 32 in the third, and then 31 in the fourth. So again, a team that constantly brings it compared to their opponents. And again, this is kind of cool thing to geek out because when you see them play and what they can do compared to their opponents, like I said, so their first period goals 29, their opponents 17. Second period, the Devils 21, opponents 15. Third period is where they just crush them, 32 goals to 18. And then the fourth period, defense locks down, everything completely locks down, and they're outscoring their opponents in the fourth quarter 31-10. That is just phenomenal. So yeah, and when we look individually in scoring, No shock. Luca Pedovari leads the team with 32 goals. Millie Quinn has 23. Sophie Shorter Robinson has 15. And Alba Olive Marti has 11 on the season, and then a ton others. Jasmine Diekmans has 6 goals, and then both Lara Kiss and Kat Featherstone have 5 each, and then you have a few mixed in with 4 and 3. But this is a team, yeah. So Luca's leading the team with 41 points. She has 32 goals, 9 assists, and she leads the team in goals and assists. So yes, looking to score, but can definitely dish. And then Millie Quinn, like I said, 23 goals, 5 assists. And then Sophie Shorter Robinson, 15 goals, 1 assist. Although Laura Kiss, she has 5 goals, but 9 assists. Actually, she's tied for the lead. She's tied for the lead in assists with Luca Petrovi. But yeah, so 5 goals and 9 assists as well. So Water Polo is awesome to watch. And again, it has nothing to do just because it's, a Sun Devil thing. But I will say this, like, if you have not been out or never checked it out, you need to get out to the Mona Plummer Aquatic Center and go to a game, because it again, just absolutely awesome. And yeah, I read, and so what they have coming up next, they're scheduled to this point, but just real quick. So they are home Friday at 1 p.m. They take on UC Santa Barbara. Again, you can check it out. This is the ASU Invitational this weekend, by the way. I should announce that first. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's the ASU Invitational. So they will take on UC Santa Barbara at 1 on Friday, and then at 11:30 a.m. on Saturday, they will take on San Jose State. Yes, they will take on San Jose State at 11:30 a.m. And then it looks like at 4 o'clock, they will take on Marist on Saturday. And then Sunday, I'll have to get clarification on that, because Sunday at 10 a.m., San Jose State's taking on Ottawa University. And then at 11:30, I do have clarification right in front of me. Sunday at 11:30, UC Santa Barbara is going to take on Marist. And then it looks like at 1 o'clock, ASU is going to take on Ottawa University. But that I will get clarification on. Because after this home meet, they go on the road for a while. They're at UCLA on the 17th, and they also play Cal State Fullerton. And then they're part of the Barbara Calabas Invitational, which is at UC Irvine, and that's February 23rd through 25th. Then they're in the Convergence Tournament, which is in Claremont, California. And St. Mary's will be there. Azusa Pacific, Concordia, and Biola are the teams in that. And then they finally return home March 9th, where they'll take on Harvard in the alumni game. And then, spring break. I'm guessing they didn't schedule any games. And then March 23rd, they're at San Jose State, and then they take on, right across the bridge there. Then they take on Stanford on Sunday the 24th. And then they come home March 30th, where they have Cal, and then at 12, and then they take on Ottawa University at 3. And then April 6th, they take on Indiana at home, and then USC at home. And then they have the conference championships, which are going to be in Bloomington, Indiana, where IU is the host school. So, and that is April 26th through 28th in Bloomington, Indiana. So just to look ahead. But yeah, if you don't get to check them out, this coming weekend, like I said, it's going to be a little bit before they are back at home. So, because February 11th, last home game, and then the next one wouldn't be until March 9th. So pretty much a month before this team is back at home. So go check them out this weekend. Again, like I said, it starts, and I'll remind you again, but it starts Friday at 1, and they will be taking on UC Santa Barbara. So so check it out. But that is what Water Polo's got going on. And again, they're rocking it. So we'll see what they can do. Hoops, you know what? We are going to hear, yesterday we didn't get to hear from Alonzo Gaffney post-game, and he said was asked some stuff, but I mean, you could just, like I said, you can see the frustration from Coach Hurley about some stuff. You also, he talked about the first and second half of 4-game losing streak. And look, when you're a player and you're a competitor, you're a coach, you're competitive, and his background, what he's done, what he obviously accomplished as a player, and then getting in, to coaching. And look, I mean, people say, I love his passion on the side of the way he coaches. Now, a lot of people, of course, on social media are like, oh, he needs to be fired, this and that, a 4-game losing streak. He doesn't need to be fired. But yes, do people want to see, again, team plays with energy and fight, and players he's brought in. And like he said, this is his masterpiece. And with the transfer portal and with NIL and, people saying in general, he's saying, they're behind, the 8 ball with NIL and this whole Wild West thing. And now there's going to be a topic. I'm going to reach out to a person. I'm not going to tell you who. It's going to be a tease, as we call it, as you know, in the industry. But I'm going to reach out to a person because the SEC and the Big Ten are now meeting to form an exploratory committee about something. So I don't know what that's going to do. But now the Fed, the government, basically said that the players could unionize now. Look, it's going down a tunnel to literally, and I'm not, again, people just on one side of the argument, they listen to Jimmy, they don't hear Jimmy, quoting the great Sidney Green from White Men Can't Jump, as he was talking to Billy Hoyle. Oh, you listen to Jimmy, but you don't hear Jimmy. You'll never hear Jimmy. You need to not just listen to Jimmy, you need to hear Jimmy. And in this case, it's not about people don't have the right to make money and people can, always run to, oh, look at what they've been, they're making all this. Well, okay, yes, their TV is bidding for this and they're showing it. And of course, people are watching it. So, yes, it is absolutely worth it. But the whole end culture is what I want to get into with that. But nonetheless, I shall step aside. When I get back, we will hear from Alonzo Gaffney as, again, he spoke after the tough loss Saturday. And I mean, now they have, the what was it? The mountain schools coming up next. They have Colorado and Utah, in which they've already beaten Colorado and Utah, which in and of itself, when they started out 4-0 in conference play, they started out 4-0 in conference play. So, I mean, you look at it, Stanford, Cal, Utah, and Colorado. Granted, they beat them both here. Utah 82-70. Colorado got the 76-73 victory, which was awesome. But Utah ain't lost at home. They're 12-0 at home now after they beat Colorado. So they go to Colorado Thursday, and that's on FS1, by the way, at 6 p.m. local time. And then Saturday at 6, which is on ESPN2, they go to Utah, who has not lost at home. But, yeah, it's an uphill battle, and we know it. Now it's a real uphill battle. Coming out of non-conference it was, but you start out 4-0, you're looking good, you're feeling confident, and well, now you got to stop a 4-game skid. And this is where you see what teams are made of. People say, you learn a lot more from losing than, winning and stuff like that. You learn a lot from winning. Yes, you do, because you learn how to win, which is important. But anyway, I digress. Step aside real quick, and we'll hear from Alonzo Gaffney on the other side. All right, welcome back to Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratino at Diablos00 on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. You know this. But yes, I did want to get to Alonzo Gaffney and what he had to say. After the after the game on Saturday. And lost against Cal, and how they played. And, you can sense his frustration. But I will say this: Coach Hurley mentioned, you heard it from him yesterday. Playing Celebonge, and like I talked about, Sean Phillips Jr., who we heard yesterday, is not on a minutes restriction anymore. Playing Celebonge and Phillips together, and putting Gaffney at his more traditional position. Whoo! I look. This team can go on a run with that, and Phillips can get points down low. We see him down low. He wants the ball, and he can, he's setting screens. Again, you get that high low. Again, you can work it down low to him, but with Celebonge in there to get boards too as well. That is just absolutely awesome. So that is one thing that I am definitely looking forward to. And we'll see, going forward if it happens. Look, everybody's an armchair coach. My theory is I start Sean Phillips. He's in the starting lineup. Now, I mean, I don't know if you would go, Collins, Neal, Gaffney, Phillips, and Celebonge. That would be an interesting starting five. Or you can still go, Frankie Collins, Jemiah Neal, Jose Perez, Alonzo Gaffney, and Sean Phillips. Again, lots to be worked out there. So nonetheless, though, but yes, we shall hear from Alonzo Gaffney and, just his thoughts on the game and just, where the team's at and how they have to respond back. So without further ado, here is Alonzo Gaffney.
Thank you for the time there. Alonzo, while Coach was sitting up, he said he loved what he saw from you guys in the second half. Said it's 5 guys pulling together the right way. He said first half, 5 guys going in 5 directions. What did the first half feel like to you?
What it felt like to me, we didn't have the energy we came out in the second half with. I mean, he's just talking about our effort. The effort wasn't there in the first half from a defensive standpoint, defending the 3-point line. We just got to be better.
Why do you feel that was today, Alonzo, that you guys weren't off to like an energizing start today?
Who knows? We just got to probably get more sleep. It was an early game, but all the credit to the other team. They hit a lot of open shots, so credit to them.
You were in a similar situation on New Year's Eve against this team where you were down by a lot at the break, but you came back. What was different?
We didn't have the momentum at the end, push through and try to get enough steals and turn them over and get points on the board. So we didn't put enough points on the board.
How do you feel about the shot selection tonight?
It was about our normal shot selection. We just got to put the ball in the basket. We missed a lot of open shots.
When Sean's in the game like that, I mean, when Sean's playing like that, what kind of, I know Coach obviously said the second half better energy, but is this kind of play down low more energizing to you guys?
It's more energizing when we get steals and we get out of transition. Sean's back and he's getting healthy and he's getting out there a lot more. So we need him a lot more so we can get the ball down low and score a lot of points down there because Sean can score that ball. So just all the credit to him.
When Sean is playing well like that, do you feel like you're more comfortable on the court?
I feel like we're all a little more comfortable that we know we got a big body down there that could post up, score the ball, and then on the defense and block shots.
Alonzo, today, a lot of the time when you and Frankie Collins are running a pick and roll, the Cal coach was saying to ice the screen coming off that. When you hear something like that, I mean, you see the defense kind of adjusting differently to how Frankie's playing and how you're playing. How do you like to adjust and kind of attack situations?
When they're icing the screen, I just like to flip the screen so Frankie can snake the screen and get through it. Their coach did a good job of trying to keep Frankie from getting downhill and scoring the ball downhill. But yeah, it's a lot of different adjustments we could do out the ice.
And do you like when that opens up your 3-point shot? You did a few of them today, so I know that.
Yeah, when I make it.
I know a lot of people are going to say that maybe you have like a hangover from that Stanford loss, which was almost double digits, but also a game you got dominated a lot. I know you had a long team meeting yesterday. Is that maybe the most disappointing aspect over here, that that you really maybe let that loss affect you more than you wanted to?
I would say so. That loss had put a cloud over us, But we got to be resilient, man. We just got to come out these next games knowing that we're fighting for something, man. We're not just out here playing just to play. We're fighting for something. And we just gotta lock in on that.
So I think you were here when Bobby was talking about the circle of kind of things coming back from what had plagued you guys in the non-conference at the end of there. What do you think is the dynamic amongst the players that maybe contributed to that?
I mean, we got a new group. We got a new group almost every year, and we just gotta get players to buy into their role more, and I think we'll be more successful throughout the rest of the season.
So Coach has talked a lot lately about how he wants to develop the bench. What did you think of the bench today?
I think the bench always does really well. They always have great energy, and they're always pretty basically ready to get in the game and do something. And I think going forward that they might end up playing a little more.
Is there too much of an element of guys wanting to be a centerpiece or a point of offense? Because you have a lot of guys that are good with the ball in their hands, or that's how they've always played.
We got a lot of scores, though. I mean, we do. We have a lot of scores, and I think a lot of people are upset that the ball's not going to the basket. I think that's the main thing. Nobody wants to be that guy. We all know that we're good basketball players, and we all can score the ball, and we just got to get in the gym and make more shots.
You guys are down big at half like that. What's the locker room vibe like? What are you guys talking about? What are you guys kind of hoping to change?
Our effort. That's why we came out with more effort in the second half. Just playing hard, playing for something, man. Just playing harder.
Anything else? No, I just said thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, Alonzo.
When you hear, I mean, yeah, you're down after a loss, you hear the frustration, but that's why I asked him about Sean Phillips. Like, I feel that the energy, I mean, again, he's young and he commits some fouls that look, and they are fouls. I know on Monday I said they were atrocious. It's pointless talking to coaches and players about it because, I mean, you can ask, but if they answer, then, well, players, I don't know. Now, if they can unionize, maybe they'll start getting fined. But for players to do I asked about Phillips's energy because, yeah, at times, he'll commit, seemingly silly fouls. You've seen him do it in his time on the court. But his play down low, his physicality, the rebounding, and he sits there and somebody posted and again, I would give credit if I remember who it was. I saw it and I just kind of chuckled because I know Suns fans would go nuts because DeAndre Ayton's like, 7'1", and he won't dunk the ball. But like Sean Phillips sitting there, a legit 7-footer, just getting it down low and dunking the ball. It's like, yes, send that message. I know it's hoops and other guys are not going to sit there and cower away, but yes, dunk the ball with authority. So, but yeah, you hear Gaffney right there. I mean, that's the thing. Like, yeah, he's like, we need to hit shots. And the second half had energy. It was, like Coach said, a team playing together. And in the first half, the Devils weren't playing together on Saturday. And if you saw it, it was literally completely opposite of the women's game on Sunday because Arizona, got out to a little bit of a lead. The Devils answered back. And the first half was just tough. Now, in the second half, like Coach Hurley said, and Alonzo talked about right there, they made a run. But it can't be 5 individuals playing, trying to do their own thing. And, Coach Hurley hired yesterday, was frustrated with it. And Alonzo's like, we got to hit the open shots. And when he can spot up and shoot, and you're down, you're trying to make shots. When he can spot up and shoot, again, absolutely in rhythm. Like those threes drop at a much higher clip than, creating off the dribble for him. And again, not that he can't handle the ball. Of course he can, but it's just different. So, but you need to hit those shots. You need to have that energy. And yes, in Bobby Hurley's system, you need to play defense. And he does want to press. And with that length that Gaffney has, like at the front of the press, it can be very annoying. But it comes down to, like Coach has said, I mean, you know, always people say it's a you know, the NBA live on ESPN, people that watch that a million times, you know, you'd see it last year, that was there 2 years ago, I was thinking, oh, it's a make or miss league. Well, it's a make or miss game, obviously. But Alonzo Gaffney, like in that role, like I said, you get Phillips down low, you space the court. If you're going to come down and double him, I mean, you know, in this day and age, a lot of times, yeah, they'll let teams shoot threes because they're not hitting them at a good clip. But for Alonzo Gaffney, if he can, again, you create that space and he can get down low and obviously throw it down. We've seen him. Frankie Collins getting downhill, like get downhill, get foul calls, shoot better from the free throw line. But you literally can't just have one attempt in the second half. And again, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole again. The Pac-12 officials overall, both sides are pretty much the worst of the conference, of all the conferences right now. And it'll just be interesting to see, you know, ones that go to work in the Big 12 next year, Big 10, because obviously they're in this part of the country. So with the expansion of the schools, even the ACC, you know, I mean, Stanford and Cal are going to have conference home games against, you know, yeah, not everybody because, well, basketball will be different. It's not football. So I digress on that. We'll have to see about the basketball schedule. But look, I love what Gaffney said there. That's just my you know, thought. And he talks about it. But when you get a guy like Phillips on the floor and you're talking about, yes, and I keep saying, you know, you don't want to, you're not throwing the season away, but fast forward, what he can be in the future, the work that he's put in, you know. And again, in another offseason, again, not that he's weak, but I mean, again, you put on a little bit more strength. You're banging around down low. Like, it's very exciting to see what Sean Phillips Jr. can be. I mean, that true rim protector down low, he'll turn to the rim and dunk on you. I love it. So again, we'll just have to, it is very, very huge to have that presence down low, as all of you know. So, but what Gaffney said there, totally with. But it's one of those things where, again, he has to hit him, but the team, like, you're open, you're in rhythm. You got to hit those shots. You got to make the team pay, but get it down to Sean Phillips, let him do work. But the one thing I will say, and again, see, I know everything's through maroon and gold shaded lenses on this show, but if he misses a shot and sometimes in frustration when they thought he got fouled, then he commits a foul, you know, 90 feet away from the hoop for the other team. So you can't waste fouls like that for Sean Phillips Jr. And again, look, that comes with age and experience and time. And yes, when you get, again, I'm not going to say if I wasn't there, you're frustrated. And even when I played, obviously not at that level, but when I played that I didn't commit a dumb foul because I was PO that I didn't get fouled. And then of course, you know, you try and steal the ball back and, you know, you're reckless and you foul somebody that far away from the hoop. Coaches will just give you that look like, come on, man. Like, I get it. I understand, but don't waste a foul that far away from the hoop. At least make them work for it. Right. So yeah, but look, they got work to do again at Colorado, at Utah. Utah has not lost at home this year yet. So, and they'll be looking for revenge, as will Colorado. But look, there's been some strange games up in Colorado that ASU has played the last few years. We'll talk more about that on Thursday. But it is wacky. But Utah, man, that's going to be one heck of a challenge. Not that it always isn't, but again, they're looking to keep their unblemished home record. So, going to take one last break real quick and wrap it up on the other side. Stick with me here on Pitchfork Lunch.
Audio Jungle.
All right, back here on Pitchfork Lunch. I am Michael Caratino at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. You can see the show there. My Facebook, also Instagram when it's working, the IG Live, but there's been issues with that. So don't want to have it be all choppy and screwed up because I'm a Sun Devil, you know. I'm a Sun Devil, Jerry. It's got to look good. Here on Taco Tuesday, but also YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. You've missed a ton of interviews. Pac-12 Coach of the Year, an All-American has been on. Tons of coaches, tons of players. We got it all. We got it all here. So, nonetheless, subscribe to the YouTube. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. You can go binge watch all the shows. This is episode 105, kids. That's right. Just getting started, but 105. And again, I'm going to bring you more players. Jaden Simmons got to get some more, get out to more hoops. Water polo. We're getting out of that. Their season's long. Swimming, I promise you that is still going on too. Swimmers, gymnastics as well. Again, I'm only one man. Hit me up if you know what that quote is from at Diablo00 on X or in the comments. Well, I'm only one man. It's from a sports movie. Yes. Has nothing to do with ASU, but that's all the hints I'm going to give you. It is a sports movie. And I can't say the name of it because the name of the person that says I'm only one man. But it is from a sports movie. So anywho, but yeah, hit me up and we'll go from there. But so the men are at the mountain schools this weekend. Women's hoops wise, they are in LA to take on USC and UCLA, just so you know. Yeah, they're taking on USC and UCLA, and they're on the road as well. Oh man, I do have to give a shout out to the crowd though down south. By the way, 8,200 people packed, and yeah, I'm sure quite a few were sticking around for the. And there was obviously a little bit of time in between, but the men's game. Yeah, so Friday they are at USC, which is at 8:00 local time, and then Sunday 1 p.m. local start at UCLA. Both teams, yes, ranked. So yeah, it's going to be very fun down the stretch, just taking on ranked teams. I get they started Pac-12 play with Arizona, and then they had two more non-conference games in the Jerry Colangelo. They had the Jerry Colangelo Hall of Fame series, and then they took on Santa Clara. They started with Arizona. I don't know. Charlie Turner Thorne and I talked about this because when they changed up the unbalanced schedule a few years ago, they like one year they played them back to back. They played them in Tempe and then they played them in Tucson. I'm like, no, like I want to start and end Pac-12 play with that, and next year start and end Big 12 play with that. So that's just me, but that's what they have going on. Also, like I said, gymnastics. By the way, shout out to them. They had a season high this last week or last weekend. Yeah, Emily White is this week's Pac-12 Coach's Choice of the Week after helping the number 20 Sun Devils to a new team high and earning 2 9.9s, did Miss Emily White. So the Gym Devils are 3-4 overall. 1-2 at home, 1-2 away, 1-0 at neutral site. Oklahoma is number one in the country. Cal's number 2. That's who they had this last weekend in the tri-meet, which was a maroon monsoon meet. But I mean, look, Oklahoma scored 198.375 to ASU's 197.250, which I guess ASU's hit highs, but that was what and Cal, the number 2 team in the country, it was 197.950 to the 197.250 in which ASU scored. So the number 1 and number 2 teams in the country, you literally, again, no pun intended, but went toe to toe with, and didn't really flinch. So that's very awesome. Their next matchup is this Friday. They are at Stanford at 7:30 p.m. It's going to be on the Stanford live stream. So, yeah, they are at Stanford. And then February 15th on Thursday, they go down to Tucson to take on that team down south. So, and then the 23rd, they return home to take on Washington Friday, February 23rd. And then March 1st, they go up to Oregon State to take on the Beavers. And then March 9th, they are home for UCLA. And then March 15th on Senior Day, they take on Southern Connecticut. And then March 23rd, the Pac-12 championships are up in Utah. This is West Valley City, Utah. So that is what they have left. But again, 3-4 and just went toe-to-toe with the number 1 and number 2 team in the country. And it's not about silver lining. Okay, they didn't win, but they hit highs. And look, I mean, they were very, very close with Cal. Saw some highlights of that, and they were very, very close with Cal. So, but again, very exciting. And like I said, you can get out to and Jay Santos, the head coach, obviously. For those that didn't know, I shouldn't say obviously, because I'm sure some didn't know. But again, this squad said, man, fun to watch. So yeah, that's what they have ahead of them, and we'll see what they can do going forward. But again, both hoops teams on the road this weekend. Hockey is home, by the way. Again, coming off the weekend where they tied the first game with Lindenwood and then was able to just beat them up 5-1. Although, yeah, there was a lot of penalty minutes. And I heard from Coach Powers yesterday, and Gibson Homer, the goalie, who had a phenomenal game, and Jackson Niedermeyer, who scored 2 goals. And up next, they are this Friday and Saturday taking on Lindenwood. This Friday and Saturday, not last Friday and Saturday. Sorry, Alaska Fairbanks comes to town, and Friday's at 7, and then Saturday is at 5 p.m. So again, check it out. But that's what the hockey team has going on. And like I said, they are 18-6-6 overall, 15-5-4 at home, looking to turn that into 17-5-4. It is one at a time, but I'm not coaching and I'm not playing. So I can say looking to turn that into 17-5-4 at home and 26-6 overall. Yes, we will take it. Let's go, Forks up. Love it. So anywho, I'm going to get out of here, though. Again, thank you so much for joining me here today on Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, your number one home for Taco Tuesday, Thirsty Thursday, Friday, Happy Mondays, and Mike, what day is it? We'll do that tomorrow. But yes, going to get out of here. We'll see who we might have on tomorrow. We never know. So anywho, I'm gonna get out. But again, you can follow me at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. You see the show there. Facebook, where it will be until IG can work the video things out, because again, it's not my fault on the technology side, but just want to make sure it's not freezing and choppy and crappy, because again, we're not talking about another school. You know who that's directed at. Anyway, but yes, and then the YouTube channel, go to my YouTube. You can search it. Go to YouTube. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat, 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. Subscribe. Watch the shows. You miss a ton of interviews, coaches, players, sound, great stories. Everything is all there. All the shows are up there on YouTube. So I'm going to get out of here. You have a great rest of your Tuesday. And let's go Devils. And yes, you know it, Pitchfork Lunchers. As always, forks up.
Johnny Walker, matching up against control. His shot, Bruce score, they score. They tie the game up 2-2. Recent drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt three right on the money. This is Taya Hansen for three. Other side of the rim with a pretty reverse. Wow.